Dr. Joe Schwarz standing by. He is host of the Dr. Joe Show, Sundays here at 3 o'clock on CJAD, and director of the McGill Office for Science and Society. And Joe, it seems to me every week now for the past, I don't know how many weeks, we have something here on processed foods, and I'm just reading an article today,
Yeah.
just released this month, a Harvard study, again, talking about ultra-processed foods. So let's kind of get into this one and start by talking about something new. Yeah, what's up now?
It never stops. Well, the new is the relationship to sleep. And, we've heard a lot recently about the benefits of sleep. And there's no doubt about that. If you don't get proper sleep, you feel tired during the day. And also studies showing that your immune system doesn't work as well. But now we have this rather interesting study, an analysis of this Nutrinet Santé ongoing trial in France, where a large number of people, 39,000 actually, fill out multiple 24-hour dietary records and questionnaires about their health status, including insomnia. So over the years, they've accumulated a lot of these dietary records and reports of health, and now they've analyzed that. And what they discovered was that the more processed foods they ate, the more poorly they slept. Now, whenever we say, talk about these kind of studies, there's always a sort of a word of caution in that dietary records are notoriously unreliable. People don't remember exactly what they ate. They don't know how much of it they ate. But still, when you have 39,000 people, you hope that the errors kind of even out.
Yeah.
And so, this is meaningful. But it doesn't really add anything to, our knowledge about processed foods because we know that they're not good. We know that ever since we started to, emphasize these in the diet, we've seen an increase in obesity, we've seen an increase in diabetes, we've seen an increase in hypertension. And this has really all started since sort of, the middle 1900s. When we started to eat things like Spam, which is basically just pork and salt and water and sugar, potato starch, sodium nitrate in a can, and a lot of sugar and a lot of salt. And we started drinking things like Tang and various other kinds of soft drinks. And we sat down to TV with a TV dinner, which was also highly processed.
Those are really good.
Yeah. It's still around, right? The
Swanson TV dinners? Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're still around. Anyway, so, we've seen the sort of marching along with these things and leading down the wrong path in terms of health. But something else that came out this past week, which I think is also very interesting, was a study out of Britain published in the British Journal of Medicine, which implicated ultra-processed foods of plant origin with the same kind of problems.
Oh.
And, recently we've been talking a lot about plant-based diets, right? I mean, this is sort of now universally accepted that the closer we are to a plant-based diet, the better off. It's better to eat fruits and vegetables and whole grains than to be eating at fast food restaurants, and that is kind of accepted. However, it turns out that because of all this talk about the benefits of plant-based foods, the industry has started to come up with a lot of processed and highly processed plant-based foods. And, we have all these burgers and hot dogs, which are basically made of
I thought they were pea protein or something.
Yeah, pea protein and soy protein, there are all kinds of things. But they also have a lot of salt and sugar that can be added to them. And also, the processing changes the texture of the food. For example, if you think about applesauce, it's very different from eating a whole apple because the sauce is mashed, and that alters the fiber content. And very often they add sugar, of course, to the applesauce. So the applesauce that you buy commercially is really a plant-based but processed food. And that has kind of flown under the radar, right? Because of all the supposed benefits of eating plant foods. I'm not supposed. I mean, the benefits are real. But the same way that we have to cut down on processed foods that come from animal sources, we have to also watch the processed foods that come from plant sources.
Oh, no.
Even though those are hyped as, being especially healthy, which they can be. I mean, if you eat soybeans like edamame or make yourself a nice bean stew, yes, that's fine. But when you look at things like the Impossible Burger, that is as processed as a burger that comes from meat. And we don't really know what that processing really does, because we're learning more and more that it's not only the content of the food in terms of nutrients and vitamins and minerals that matters, but also what we refer to as the matrix of the food, that is the structure of the inner structure of the food, and whether or not the cells get ruptured in all of the processing. So when we say that we should stay away from ultra-processed foods, that advice holds true even for the plant-based foods, which are, thought to be so much healthier.
This is terrible news for anybody thinking they were doing the right thing, getting away from those ultra-processed, those meats or whatever else. And now, of course, you got to worry about this stuff as well. Joe, you're making it very hard to be healthy.
Well, I don't know. I don't have trouble eating my berries in the morning and my toast with avocado on it.
Wait a sec. You have toast? Toast involves bread. What do you mean? What are you doing?
Oh, I love bread, sourdough bread.
See?
That's my staple. I can't live
Can't do without your bread, huh? There's a problem right there. I would bring up something else, because you're kind of describing a situation here, in all seriousness, where regardless of what it is, it's kind of the old theory, right? If it comes in a box, it's probably been processed and it's not good for you. You're describing kind of the perimeter shopping idea, right? You go to the supermarket, shop the perimeter.
I think that's right. But I've also seen the Impossible Burger, the perimeter.
Oh, so much for that idea too, then.
Yeah. But again, I don't want to demonize any single food or make any single food an angel. What we really need to do is have a proper diet, but occasionally, you can eat that plant-based burger or even that meat-based burger. It's all a question of the overall diet.
Yeah, moderation. Okay.
Not looking at single foods. I mean, I'll go for a good French fry now and then.
Joe.
But yeah, I will.
Wow.
But good is the operative word here. Not any kind of lousy frozen French fry. But when I go up north, there's this casse-croûte there on the route. And boy, I tell you, they make absolutely the best fries.
Where? I'm not that I would go, but where is this?
It's just past St. Agathe on the road to St. Donat.
I'm not going there for French fries.
Yeah.
No, just go to Côte St. Luc Barbecue. You can find really good fries there. They're actually
pretty
very
good
good.
fries
Okay.
there too.
I will just say one last thing with respect to all this. This new study that I referred to, maybe we can talk about this next week. When you and I talk about soda, and we know that you shouldn't be drinking sodas. We know people just chug Coke like it's going out of style. It's not good for you, obviously. But this study says, when they talk about processed, they mention sugar or artificially sweetened beverages in the same breath.
Right.
They're both bad for you.
Yes, they're both bad. Yeah. And now there's alternative sodas that are coming out, like Olipop and Poppy.
Which is great. I have Olipop. Makes the best grape soda ever. And they're, what do you call it? They're probiotics or prebiotics.
Exactly. So we can talk about that too. Where do you get your Olipop here?
At Nature Santé, a little store in Queen Mary Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
we'll talk about that.
Okay, but that's good for you? That's okay?
Well, drink it until next week.
Fine. Better not find anything bad. Dr. Joe Schwarz, you can hear him Sundays at 3 here on CJAD. Thank you, Joe.